Hi, welcome to Kitchen Design, the show created to help you get the kitchen that fits you best. One that gives you great function and also gives you the style that suits your life and your budget. I'm Joan KOHN. Our first tour takes us to Virginia horse country, where the Tusets created an open floor plan and added height to make their kitchen spacious and light. Let's go touring.
Yates Ford Road is the last unpaved road in Fairfax County. So when you turn on the road, you're in another world. All of a sudden, you go from suburbia into rural America, it seems like. And it's a very horsey area. Wide open spaces. It's zoned for 5 acres and more. So it's very beautiful.
I remember that we didn't like it very much as a house. We loved the property very, very much, and we have 2 acres, and the view across the road is just really gorgeous. But the house was very boxy and unimaginative, and it was clearly a house that was built without an architect's eye because there were no windows in the back that actually looked out onto the view. And so we were looking at it and wondering immediately, what could we do with this? And so we loved the setting, and the house was like, we'll see.
The design challenges began with adding a large foyer onto the house and then trying to decide what to do with the kitchen.
I have a very close family and a large family, and the house is really for the purpose of having family over. They're just the 2 of us, and we don't need all the space that's here just for the 2 of us. And our lifestyle is one where we really like people around us while we're cooking, while we're sorting things out for guests. And in the 3 main rooms of the house, there were walls separating them very naturally from the living room, dining room, and the kitchen. And after several tries at a design with our architect, Lorena Checa, we at one point said, why don't we give a shot to a design that has no walls, and let's see how that works. And it was a pretty radical thought for us, because when you take down the walls, I knew that Lorena was going to recommend that we open up the ceiling as well. And that was a pretty large-scale effort, a larger scale effort than we originally had planned on.
And I said, great, because really the proportions of these living spaces, even with walls, to me seemed like the ceilings wanted to be higher. So the first challenge, and I must give some credit to my structural engineer who never turns me down with a challenging question, and I said, I want to create a cathedral ceiling, and we want to retain the original roof.
To smooth the transition between rooms, Lorena hid the support beams behind mahogany. And even though they loved the open space, the Tusets decided that some separation needed to exist between the kitchen and other areas.
The pocket door was actually something that I was very interested in having. I had grown up with a feeling that you should have a separate dining room from your kitchen. You should have a way to close off your kitchen so that your visitors don't have to see the clutter in the kitchen. And what we decided to do when we opened up the walls in the rest of the space was to give us a way to close that door and protect people who are coming up the stairs from having to look at a sink full of dirty dishes.
When it came to choosing the kitchen flooring, Raul and Barbara found a hidden treasure.
We found out afterwards, we picked up a corner of the rug and saw this beautiful oak floor underneath, and we're hoping and praying that it was that way throughout. And we're very, very happy and very fortunate to find out later that when we took up the green rug, that it was a oak floor that really didn't look like it had been walked on. The cabinets in the kitchen are maple, and we selected maple because we as you can see throughout the space, we like natural wood tones and natural wood, and maple was bright enough that it had the kitchen show up and stand out, and it's a very bright and pleasant space. So we liked maple a great deal, and it's very natural maple. So we selected it for that purpose, the color as well as the natural tones of it.
It had been very important to me to have some place to work in the kitchen where I could be working, preparing food, and be able to spend time socializing with people at the same time. And to have a place where people could actually sit on the other side of the island, separated from all the mess, and I would still be able to be talking with them and not have my back turned to them to prepare whatever.
On the countertops, what we have is granite, and it's got a particular name. It's called Venetian gold. And we looked at a lot of pieces of granite. If you go out looking at granite, you'll see that you'll go to these massive warehouses where they have slabs and slabs of it. And I never knew that there were so many pieces of granite that I didn't care for.
We're really thrilled with the lighting that Lorena designed for us. It's something that we really didn't know anything about, and I have a history of complaining about how something is lighted but not really knowing how to fix it. So, we have downlights over the island that really allow you to sit there and do work. We actually use that.
Well, sometimes what I think about when I walk into the new space is just the difference in what's happened in my life. I'm originally from New York City and Harlem and the South Bronx, and you know, it's a very different lifestyle from the one I live in now. And when I walk into the space, it just says something about, you know, what's possible for people and for me and for others in just living their life and progressing through life. So it's just really great, and it's especially great for my family, my kids and my grandkids.
Ahead, our fantasy tour. But first, we'll celebrate the glory of the Ritz Hotel